We're joined once again by Andy Sharma, who is the chairman of the Hillingdon Chamber of Commerce and also runs Business Results Coach, local coaching company. And today, in our little segments on help for small businesses locally, we're chatting about delegation. Now, Andy, can you give us a few tips on delegation?
Sure, Steve. I think this is one of the classical problems that people in business, they have. When people get started in the business, they are an expert in a particular area and they are good at what they do. And that's how they say, okay, instead of working for somebody else, might as well work for myself and make more money. But the problem is because they are really good at it, they are the best person to do that in their organization. Even if they bring people in, they tend to keep that with themselves because that sort of becomes their comfort zone. So one of the challenges people face is letting go. And that compromises their growth or they're not able to achieve their full potential. So I think it's really important for people in business to understand how business is different from job. So the delegation is an important part of the role because the only way to grow is to have more people on the team who can do the work so you can be more strategic. So some of the things that you could look at focusing in terms of delegation is to evaluate all the activities that you do and put some sort of a monetary value on that and say, okay, this job, how much is it worth? And what is an hourly rate for this particular job if I was to outsource it? And look at the jobs which are high in terms of value and importance and focus on them and look at delegating the ones which are low in value to other people. So you can pay somebody else in your team to do that so you have more time to focus on the important stuff in the business. That's one of the things which is important for you to think about when you're delegating.
Definitely. There are examples, aren't there, of managers coming in and thinking, there's a light bulb that needs changing. I'll just change the light bulb. And actually that 10 minutes of finding the light bulb, getting the ladder out, putting it in the ceiling, what's that going to cost you in your hourly time? Is it worth it?
Exactly. Yeah. So look at it from another perspective. If you are a business owner, obviously you are the boss. But if you look at it from the perspective, the business pays you a salary or dividend. So business is your boss. And if business is paying you a certain amount of salary and dividend, how would the business like if you're changing the bulb, which is maybe £10 or £12 an hourly rate versus you making a salary of £50 to £100 an hour? So how would you feel if one of your employees who's being paid an X amount of money is not doing the work that he's supposed to be? The same thing applies to you in business. So I think it's another way of looking at it.
So you suggest perhaps writing down and putting a value against all these tasks that you find yourself doing, and that will help show you that, I perhaps shouldn't be doing the hoovering every morning as a boss. Get someone in to do the cleaning.
Yes, absolutely. I think the best way to approach this exercise would be to look at your 2-week work and look at every half hour what are you spending time on and create a list so you are able to analyze where time is being spent and then reviewing that list and saying, okay, what is important, put some value against it and look at all the tasks which are low in value and draw out a plan as to who you can delegate it to and what that will allow you to focus more on more valuable tasks. So that would be the first step. Second step is to look at, kind of working through a plan on who is going to do it. Sometimes it may be cheaper or easier to delegate it or to somebody else outside your organization. So you may want to outsource some of the stuff if that is what works for your situation. Otherwise, you're looking at, once you've figured out what are the tasks that needs to be delegated, then you can actually create a job description, who you want to hire, the kind of person you would want to bring on the team to take those tasks. So it feeds into their recruitment plan also, taking it forward from that perspective.
And it could be as simple as you find yourself checking email. Maybe you do that an hour a day. Perhaps a virtual assistant might be the answer to that, and they come in and help you out with email and forward on the important things to you.
Yeah, I think email is a classical case anyway, because email, most people have notifications on their email. Every time their email comes, a notification pops up, and guess what people do? They jump straight to it because that's what happens in most people. So I suggest to all my clients having 3 slots in the day where you're going to check the email. One maybe in the morning, one in the afternoon or in the lunchtime, and one in the evening. And you can have autoresponder on your email saying, I check my email at this particular time. If it's urgent, drop me a message or give me a call. But otherwise, people don't expect. And if you're managing expectations, it's a lot easier for you to work through that. So I think a lot of it is in our head rather than the reality. A lot of times I've heard people, if I don't respond to my email, I will lose business, or my client will not be happy, or client will feel that, I am not, giving them a good service. But on the contrary, it works the other way. If your clients know that you're busy, they will value you more, rather than if the client feel that you're not doing anything else, just looking after one client.
Thanks, Andy. There's some great tips there on delegation. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. It was great to speak with you.